Greetings, cartoon lovers. Welcome back to the Gamers Den, the show where you, the viewer, come to me, the host, for all the video games and walkthroughs and playthroughs. You know the like. And you stay for the pop culture knowledge they're in. Today, we're looking at a Cartoon Network staple, a classic. I have got a gnat coming around my freaking camera today. Jesus, annoying as hell. Now I haven't talked about this show at all on the channel at all. But recently I got the second season, so I figured I'd talk about at least the first couple of seasons. Ed, and Eddy. A classic from Cartoon Network's heyday. They just don't make them like this anymore. They just don't. It's unfortunate. They get the chance and then they shut it down. It's terrible. But let's go ahead and get started on that, shall we? Characters. Pretty simple. We have Ed with one D. He is stupid. I'm not even gonna sugarcoat it. The dude's slow as molasses. If he's got a brain, it's not much. Funnily enough, this was around the same time that Patrick Star was introduced during SpongeBob's era. So there was a couple of dumb characters during the mid to late 90s, early 2000s. And Ed just became, a fan favorite. Next is Double D, or Ed with two D's. He's usually called Double D for that, to differentiate. He's the smart one that you have in all your shows, as far as your main team goes. Ed is the muscle, Double D's the brains of the operation for the most part. He's very timid, very clean. Good God, he's cleaner than me. Very OCD. And then you have the leader of the trio, Eddy, or EDDY. Thus, why they're called the Eds more often than not, because they all share the same name for the most part. But in fact, Double D's name is actually Edward. Who knew? Eddy is a scam artist. Plain and simple. Will do anything for a quarter. Within reason, of course. The other characters around the cul-de-sac, which is where most of the series takes place, or in areas around it. Damn bug. You have Ed's sister, Sarah, between her and DW, there's a reason I didn't really care for sister characters on animated shows. I've got an annoying sister myself, but nowhere near that bad. It made me appreciate my sister a little bit every now and again. Especially Sarah. Jesus Christ, this chick is a big mouth. She's very abusive to her big brother. She has a friend named Jimmy, who... Hey, Leo, how would you describe Jimmy? Kind of a pansy, almost. If I didn't think he wouldn't date Sarah later on in life, I think he was gay.
A little bit.
Very feminine, very feminine. Next you have Rolf, a son of a shepherd, the foreign kid that you always knew growing up. I knew a couple of them in school. But yeah, he wasn't. We never really found out where he came from. He could have been anywhere, really, and that's the beauty of the character. Besides Ed, he was probably the strongest of the characters. Well, that and Sarah. Jesus Christ. Don't make her mad. Just I'm letting you know that right now. Next, you have Rolf, or as Eddy likes to call him, Shovel Chin, which is just funny. Kevin is a jerk, plain and simple, and has probably the most iconic line besides buttered toast from Ed with dorks. Just They kind of are. He would always call the Eds dorks every time, or some way of putting dorks into a name calling. And she had Nats, which pretty much most of the kids, besides um, Rolf, Jimmy, and Sarah, loved. Secretly had a crush on. She was the girl next door character. Finally, you have Johnny 2x4, the weird kid that even the weird kids don't like hanging out with. AKA, Ed and Eddy don't like hanging out with with Johnny 2x4. And probably the most iconic character, Plank, who Johnny always took carried around and would, it's basically just a plank of wood. But the show makes it to seem like he's sentient and that he's not sentient. It's never fully explained. Super weird. Personally, I don't know. Sometimes I think he is, sometimes I think he's a stupid gnat. I'm having issues today, guys. I'm going to be killing a gnat soon. Unless unless Leo has any objections.
What?
There's a gnat buzzing around the camera. It's driving me crazy.
Just don't hit the camera.
You're gonna hit the camera. Don't hit the. He just told me to not hit the camera. What do I look like, Ed? Don't answer that.
Don't worry, I'm sure the comment section will answer it for me.
Ha 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 ha. If we got comments. Well, that's a very, very sad. Moving on.
What the heck, man?
I depressed myself with that one. Shut up.
You brought that on yourself.
Bite my furry hide, Leo. But I'm not done with the characters just yet. The Canker sisters, the main antagonist of the show. They move in around the start of the show and, well, basically claim the Eds as their boyfriends. Now, reverse the roles. Well, let's just say it's not pretty. The Canker sisters will do everything to them, from kissing them to, well, strangling them. They'll do all kinds of crap to the Eds, but they love them. And like Amy Rose, reverse the roles, and people would have these characters canceled within a heartbeat. I guarantee you. But since they're chicks, it's fine. But at least Amy Rose has her good qualities every now and again. The Cankers have no redeeming qualities, especially their leader, Lee. That redhead is just cruel. Marie she seems to be the most laid back of them, with May being the slowest one. Not as slow as Ed, but she has her moments where she's pretty nice to them. She's probably the nicest of them. Funnily enough, finally got him. Finally got that stupid thing. Should be a little bit smoother now. But yeah, they live in the trailer park across the way, and like I said, they basically kiss and hug them without their consent. They straight up try to get away. Some of the most memorable episodes have them basically harassing the Eds. And they don't really get too much comeuppance because everybody's terrified of them, which is in line with it. They are probably some of the most powerful characters in the show. Um, but yeah, guys, Ed and Eddy was just a slice of life, kind of down to earth show with some cartoon physics. Jesus, some of the cartoon physics on here was just crazy. But the show actually is based on the guy who made it, Danny Antonucci. I'm sorry if I butcher that name all hell. I'm I'm a dopey I'm a dopey American. I don't speak that kind of crap. So I am sorry, but um, he based it off of where he lived. If you watch the show, you may notice that the trees and the houses and the backgrounds look really plain. But then when you look at the characters, they're so odd, so off the wall. The show ran for 5 seasons and had some of the weirdest stuff going on. But it was Cartoon Network in its heyday. There's a lot of weird shows. But Ed and Eddy stuck out and was the only one of the few that actually managed to make it past the 90s. Not too many of them did, without getting a revival or two. But Ed and Eddy didn't just stop at 5 seasons. It got a movie, Ed and Eddy's Big Picture Show, which introduced one other character, Eddy's brother. Now, all throughout the series, he would talk about his brother. And, well, we eventually got to see him. And we find out that Eddy was, well, yeah, Eddy's brother's the jerk. Like, I scratched it. He's an ass. Even the cankers hate him. It's so bad that by the end of it, the Eds are accepted. This is the true end of the series, not season 5, which, funnily enough, has them go to school. It's kind of weird. But, what are you going to do?
We may have to change our lunch plans here.
Hmm?
We
What
may
was it?
have to go out if we want Bojangles because it's not letting me pick it.
Ah, crap. Okay.
Uh,
Uh,
I
we
can
have,
get Subway brought over here. Oh wait, no, they don't have a make your own sub. Never mind.
we'll deal with it in a minute, bud.
Okay.
Let me get done
Go
with
ahead and
my
finish.
bits for the day. Um, yeah, Ed and Eddy was one of my favorite shows growing up, and I know it's Leo's too. Um, but yeah, the only seasons that are out, in the U.S. if you can find them, are the first and second seasons. Yeah, you can find all 5 seasons plus the movie on iTunes. I don't have iTunes. And I prefer having physical media anyway. But unfortunately, the first 2 seasons are the only things we've gotten, physically wise. Yeah, you can watch all 5 seasons on HBO Max now, but the movie is not on there. You gotta hunt it down, but I highly recommend hunting this movie down. It's so good. And it really brings out the worst and best of the Eds. Um, but what's the plot of the series? Basically, Ed and Eddy try to scam the neighborhood out of their quarters. That's it. That's pretty much the entire series for the most part. Yeah, they have various scams and ways of doing it with various degrees of stupid to smart, but regardless, that is the basic premise. Avoiding the cankers, scamming the kids out of their money without them beating them up. It's that simple. Now once I figure out where to find the movie again because I need to rewatch it, I will review that, Dexter's Ego Trip, and well, the awesomeness that is, the Powerpuff Girls movie. Because I personally like that movie. Y'all can suck it. Um, but I figured I'd look back on Ed and Eddy and take a little break and everything. Next, in 2 weeks' time, I will look at probably one of the most famous animated Muppet shows, Muppet Babies. So stay tuned for that. But with that being said, be sure to like, share, subscribe, ring the bell for notifications. Go in the comments down below. Tell me what you think of Ed, Edd n Eddy. Did you watch it as a kid? Did you not? But yeah, I needed to take a little bit of a break this week, and I'm sorry for that, guys. I really am. But yeah, so hopefully we'll see you guys next time. Bye.